All right, as you can see, we are on to lesson 32, and our objective is to interpret and find whole number quotients, which is our answer in division, and remainders to solve one-step division word problems with, this time, larger divisors of 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to be using division in word problems. So I don't think we're going to be doing these ones in class. I think we're actually going to do our problem set in class. So this is just additional to help you figure out word problems. The biggest thing we want to pay attention to is, do we know the size of the group, or do we know the number in each group? That will help us set up our tape model. So this one says, we all know there are 7 days in a week. How many weeks are in 259 days? So our answer statement is, there are blank weeks in 259 days. So we know there are 7 days in a week, and we have a total of 259 days. So we've got our total on top. And we know that there are 7 days in 1 week. So we want to know how many weeks we're going to get. So we have no idea how many groups we have, but we do know the number that's in each group since we're working with weeks. So we take our 259 and we divide it by 7, and we say that 2 does not go into 7 groups evenly, so it's 0 times 7. I still have 2 hundreds. I unbundle them. How many tens do I get from 2 hundreds? Right, I get 20. If I keep my original 5 tens, I now have 25 tens. 25 breaks into 7 groups. Not once, not twice. 3 times would put me at 21. 3 times 7 is 21. I now have 4 tens left. With those 4 tens, I need to unbundle them. How many ones am I going to get? You're right, 40. I originally had 9, so 49 ones breaking into 7 groups. Well, if I know my facts, I know that's going to be 7 times, because 7 times 7 is 49. And if I subtract those, I have no remaining. Therefore, there are 37 weeks in 259 days. To check this work, I would take my 37 and I would multiply it times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. I cannot put 49 in one spot, so I have to bundle my 40, which gives me 4 tens. 7 times 3 tens is 21 tens, plus 4 more is 25 tens. These numbers match. All right, let's go to the next one. It says, everyone is given the same number of colored pencils in art class. If there are 249 colored pencils and 8 students, how many pencils does each student receive? So answer statement, each student receives blank pencils. And it says everyone is given the same number, so that means we know that they're equal groups. And there are a total of 249 pencils. So that's my total top, right? And 8 students are getting these pencils. So we know that we're going to have 8 equal groups because it's 8 students. So I cut it in half, each one half again, and then each one half again. That should give us 8 students. And they're all equal. So now I can figure out what goes in each one of these. So I take my 249 pencils and I divide them by my 8 students. And then I will find out how many go in each one. So I know 2 does not go into 8 groups. 2 times nothing gets, or 8, yeah, 2 does not go into 8 groups. 0 times 8 is 0. Subtract, I get 2 hundredths. If I unbundle them, how many tens? Right, 20. Plus the original 4 I had. 24 goes into 8 groups. 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract, I have nothing, but I still have my 9 to bring down. Remember, if there's still a number, you have to get a number above it. So if I have 9 left, it means it goes into 8 groups one time. 1 times 8 is 8. If I subtract, I have 1 remaining. So it says, how many pencils does each student receive? Well, each student receives 31. Let's check our work. 31 is my quotient times my groups, which is 8. 8 times 1 is 8 ones. 8 times 3 tens is 24 tens, plus 1, so 249. So here's my question for you. What does that remainder mean? Yeah, of course, it means that there is 1 extra colored pencil. How many more colored pencils would I need to get another group of pencils? Yeah, I would need 30, because 30 plus 1 is 31. And if there are 31 in each group, then I would just be able to do 1 extra group. All right, and let's look at our last one. Mr. Hughes has 155 meters of volleyball netting. How many nets can he make if each court requires 9 meters of netting? So he can make blank nets. And we have a total here. So that's 155 meters. It says how many nets can he make if each court requires 9 meters of netting? Well, I don't know how many nets he can make, but I do know the size, and the size is 9, because each one is worth 9. So I have no idea how many nets he can make. So that's how many groups I have. But I do know the size of my group. Each net, 9 meters. So if I divide 155 by 9, I notice that 1 does not go into 9 groups evenly. So I still have 100. 100 unbundles into how many tens? You're right, 10. Plus the 5 I had gives me 15 tens. 15 tens into 9 groups goes 1 time. 1 times 9 is 9. If I subtract, I get 6 tens left. If I unbundle those 6 tens, then I have how many ones? 60, correct. Plus my original 5, I now have 65 into 9 groups. Well, I know that 9 times 7 is 63, which gives me a remainder of 2. So he can make a total of 17 nets. He can't make 17 remainder 2 nets, because that doesn't make sense. This remainder 2, what does it mean? You're right, it's how many meters he has left. So if it takes 9 meters to make a net, and I only have 2 meters left, how many more meters do I need for another net? You're right, 7. 9 take away 2 is 7. Nice job. And that is 32.